Just in case you were ever confused in thinking that maybe your preaching or that your great witnessing has anything to do with somebody getting saved, you got to watch this. Welcome back to Wretched. We were doing a radio broadcast at the Minnesota State Fair, and we talked to a young man that you're going to see here in just a moment named Travis, and I was witnessing to Travis. You're going to see that, but here's what was going on. While I'm witnessing to Travis, and Travis is being kind of dippy and silly, which you'll see, watch the guy standing next to him, his pal. Watch his reaction. You see, I'm witnessing to Travis, but his buddy's overhearing it, and it looks like this is the guy that's really getting worked on by God, and that happens a lot. If you've ever witnessed to a group of people, which is kind of a tricky thing, frankly, witnessing to more than one person at a time, I can't tell you how many times in a group setting when I thought that I was witnessing to the one person who's being kind of obstinate, it's the others who, after the witness encounter, grab you and go, hey, dude, can we talk? Reminding us, we're not responsible for conversion. God is. Let's meet Travis and watch his pal. What's your first name?
My name is Travis. What's your name?
My name is Todd, Travis.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Do you listen to this radio station?
I do not usually listen to faith-based radio stations.
Why not?
Why not? I'm more or less an agnostic.
How many beers have you had today?
How many beers?
Yeah.
No beers, but a lot of vodka.
Would you consider yourself to be a good person?
Yes, I'm a very good person. I volunteer. I help people at food shelves and stuff like that. I feel like I need to help people because...
Have you ever told a lie?
What's that?
Have you ever told a lie?
Oh, yes.
Have you ever stolen anything, Travis? Something in your pocket, huh?
I stole this from the haunted house today.
All right. So recently you've stolen something.
I stole something about 20 minutes ago. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Do you think that your parents would be pleased with that, or do you think they'd maybe be a little unhappy that their son was stealing things at the fair?
Well, they'd probably be very displeased with it, but right now I'm very happy I stole it because it's in my pocket now.
Okay,
now
Travis, hold on. Travis, have you ever called somebody a moron?
Well, I called my friend a moron because he was trying to
Travis,
argue. What's that?
Have you ever looked at a woman and had a sexual thought about her you shouldn't have had?
All the time. There's one right there.
Let me tell you why I'm asking you those questions, Travis, and you can ponder this, and maybe this will sober you up today, because this is the most sobering thought you're going to have all day, maybe ever. I just asked you about the 10 Commandments. You know the 10
Commandments? I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I'm very familiar with the 12 Commandments.
Great. What we just discovered is you haven't kept them. And maybe in Catholic school they taught you that it's appointed unto man once to die and then the judgment. So you're going to die, God's going to judge you. And if he judges you and finds you guilty of breaking his 10 Commandments, where do you think he should send you, heaven or hell?
Let me ask you a question. If there is a hell, and you presume it to be eternal flames for all of eternity, right?
You remember that, right?
Okay. Can you ponder that in your mind for 1 minute? Eternal flames for all your life. Flame as hot as the surface of the sun. Can you comprehend that for 1 minute?
Well, the surface of the sun isn't as hot as hell, and it doesn't matter if I can comprehend it. It doesn't change the reality of the situation.
No, can you comprehend that, though, for 1 minute?
It doesn't matter.
All right, no, that's fine. For 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you can't comprehend that. What kind of God would send you to the flame for the surface of the sun?
Let me tell you what kind of God. That's a very reasonable question. A just God, a holy God, a righteous God, a perfect God.
Why?
Why? Because he knows the difference between right and wrong, and he has a set of rules.
How do you know?
They're called the 10 Commandments.
The 10 Commandments written by who?
That's God's standard of right and wrong.
But how do you know that?
That's what the Bible says.
So all that is sin. What's wrong with sin, though?
It's law-breaking. It's a violation of God's law.
Who's that? How do you know that God exists, though?
Well, because I can look at that tree, and I know that there's a tree maker.
The force. Now, you're presuming that God is a conscious being that loves us, right? I presume that God is a force.
Well, actually, I'm telling you about a conscious being that's going to judge you. What are you going to do when he judges you?
My buddy Nick has something to say. He's a smart kid, too.
All right, but I just want to talk to you. We'll talk in a minute, okay?
Okay.
He's going to judge you, Travis.
Okay.
He's going to find you guilty.
If he sends me to hell, that's his choice and not mine. I don't believe there's
no vodka in hell.
No vodka in hell, but I
no state fair stealing in hell.
I agree with you.
Eternal torment. Weeping and gnashing of teeth.
So you're assuming that I'm going to hell?
You just confessed you are. You're a lawbreaker.
No, I'm asking if you assume that I'm going to hell.
Have you broken God's laws?
Are you God?
Have you ever broken God's laws?
You're assuming that I'm God's law? Everything.
Don't swear.
I swore.
Don't swear.
It's true, I swore.
What are you going to do when you die? And God judges you. What are you going to do?
I'm not going to do anything when I die, because that'll be...
You're going to be judged by God. What are you going to do? What's your plan when you stand before God? You're not going to argue with him about shellfish.
I'm going to say, my name is Travis. I've lived a good life. I've tried to help people. And I'm probably not going to speak to God because he's not a conscious being. God is more or less the force that drives that tree, which used to be a seed, into be the full tree that it is now.
Well, the Bible teaches that God is the almighty force, and he made that tree, and he spoke it into existence. Let me tell you what the Bible does. The Bible says that you can know if God is true, because if anybody can predict the future, that proves they're God. The only book that accurately, every single time, hundreds of times, has predicted the future is the Bible. Hold on, Travis. You've been talking. Let me share some thoughts with you.
To understand
Travis,
morality on their own.
Travis, let me tell you why you're getting worked up here. Because you know it's true. You know that you're going to be judged by God, and you're going to be in big trouble.
I'm getting worked up because I'm drunk and I'm having an argument with you.
All right? But I think you better get sober real quick and start thinking about this stuff.
Should I, Nick? Should I get sober and think about God and if I live a good life? If
Hope you do.
I'm going to go to hell?
I'm glad you talked to me.
I'm glad.
All right? Thanks very much.
Being
All right?
agnostic, because you can't assume more about the unknowable than anyone else. Nice talking to you.
Dude, I mean it. Hell is awfully hot, and it goes on for a long time.
Well,
get yourself thinking about spiritual things and eternal things.
I can use a suntan. I'm going to go to buy a beer.
Goodbye. Not real funny, actually. And no, we didn't give him the gospel because you don't throw the precious pearl before swine. Tomorrow on Wretched, selling Jesus. Till then, serve your king.